out as trans, I felt really, or as a woman, I felt really freed. Like I had stepped out of, or began to step out of a prison that I have lived in my entire life. And I felt this overwhelming joy, and I just wanted to shout and dance around and scream at the top of my lungs and just announce everything to the world. And I felt like, the world would rejoice with me almost. But that, of course, didn't happen. And when I first started dressing as a woman, people weren't accepting me. They weren't seeing me as a girl. They were seeing me as a guy dressing as a girl. And it turned out to be this huge disaster in a lot of ways. But I decided and kind of come to terms to this point where, hey, I wasn't ever going to pass, but I would take 5% over 0%. I was already living in this prison of people seeing me as a woman 0% of the time. So I figured, hell, I would take 5% over that, and maybe someday I'll be able to get surgeries and do this and that, and people will begin to really see me as a girl. So it's like, okay, cool, well, I'll just do that then. And it was weird, as I began to take hormones and work on my voice feminization and try to sound and just be more myself, the percentages slowly started to rise. I started at 0% passing, I eased up to 10, then I went to 30, 40, and it slowly started developing. So now 2.5 years in, I'm in the 90 percentile. I pass 90% of the time with my voice, 90% of the time physically, and with my actions when I go out in public. I even wear boy clothes that I like this shirt. I've had this for years and years, and I'm able to wear it and still pass, and I love it. So it's just interesting though that us girls, and I wanted to kind of talk about this, us girls would take 5% over 0. We've been in this prison for such an incredible amount of time that we're just screaming to get out. We would rather have time out in the prison yard than stuck in our cell for the last 20 years. And that's what we're doing. And then we're slowly easing our way out of the prison altogether. And then, but even if we don't, let's say we don't get out of the prison altogether, we are somewhat still stuck in the prison, and, I only pass half the time. I gotta tell you, I was so much happier passing half the time at that point when I was only passing 50% of the time. I felt so much happier with myself 50% than I ever did at 0. So no matter what, I was feeling happier than before. And now that I have a baseline to go back and compare, there's no doubt that living a life as a woman is so right for me. And I guess that's the other thing I really got out of transition, is I just know it's right for me. I just know it is. I'm just a woman and I need to live as a woman. It's as simple as that. And so anyways, percentages have gone up. I feel much better, even though I figured I would never pass. Somehow it worked out to where I do. And I know a lot of that's hormones and breast augmentation and stuff like that. But if you are so feeling down because you feel like your voice could never pass, it's so low. I went from an incredibly low voice to the voice I use now. You can do it too. And I'm not trying to freak you out. I'm not trying to trip you out with my voice. Just trying to inject a little bit of hope in you. If you feel like you can't do it, you can. You can do this. And hormones, after they bake and incubate in your body for a while and changes start to happen, you'll start to pass more and more. Who knows if you'll ever pass 100%, but you're definitely going to pass a lot more than you do now. That is, if you haven't started your transition. You know what I mean. Thanks for watching.